Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdom of Two Crowns with me, Notorious BLT, and also Peach.
Hey!
I don't know why I just dropped that coin. That was a mistake. Okay, I have clearly forgotten the controls for this game because I'm hitting all these buttons.
You're irresponsible with your money.
I am. Or at least I was being irresponsible with my money. That's very true. Dude, so I gotta tell you, the other day, I watched this documentary on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
And it kind of blew me away a little bit. It was called Behind the Curve, and it's about flat earthers. Yeah. So, I'm not exactly sure where I should start, but I will select a spot to start from. And that spot is, apparently the person that started all this flat earth stuff is extremely crazy. And, like, not the kind of crazy that I would feel bad making fun of, but
Never
like...
would have guessed.
Yeah, but I mean, like, sociopathic crazy, it seems to me. And, okay, well, to interrupt for just a second, the portal is up, which I'm going to use momentarily. But, so, there are actually, like, a lot of really smart people in this movement, which bothers me a lot. And the reason I say that they're smart people is that there were two, in this documentary, there were two engineers. And they were like, okay, well, we're going to do these experiments to prove that the Earth is flat. And so, apparently somebody in the flat Earth community, if you want to call it that, fuck. Yeah, there. Okay. There's the portal. Somebody in the flat Earth community. Wait, is this thing gonna pop the fucking... Oh, no, don't... Oh, you son of a bitch. I think it's not gonna build there because the platform is there. God damn it. I'm gonna have to try again. Alright. Well, whatever. So, somebody in the community spent, like, $20,000 to get this thing called... If I'm right, it was called, like, a laser gyroscope. And these guys were like, okay, if the Earth is a ball, like science claims, then after an hour of this gyroscope running, there will be 15 degrees of deviation. Because if you have, like there's 360-degree rotation that the Earth goes through every day, essentially. And so 15 degrees every hour. So they run this experiment, and they're like, it's not going to have the deviation, right? Well, guess what? It totally fucking did. Because, you know, all of us that have been paying attention to high school science understand that the Earth is, in fact, an oblate spheroid and does, in fact, rotate. Our spearmen are apparently not actually getting money from fish. I just had two dudes look like they got fish, and then they didn't. Very strange. But in any case... So it comes back with 15 degrees of deviation, and they're like, well, that can't be right. And so they do all this other stuff and, like, encase it in bauxite and all this other stuff because they're saying that, like, the not cosmic, because that's not the words that they were using. You know, some weird kind of rays were affecting the experiment, and so, like, it is basically just a bunch of BS. But it was one of those things where it's like, man, you were so close, especially, later, when they go to do this other experiment where they put these stakes in the ground, and then they're going to have, like, this laser shine across these stakes. And it turns out that, like, the laser wasn't calibrated right, and, like, it's not really, like, their fault, I guess, in this case. Like, the laser, the beam got enormous over the distance they were doing it. But they went and did the experiment a different way, and they were basically saying, like, if the Earth has curvature, then over this specific distance... God damn it. What has happened? I am frozen. Okay, I'm not frozen anymore. Like, essentially, at these three different stakes, they would see... Or, not at the stakes, but, at the specific distance...
Host, returning to your kingdom.
What? God damn it. Alright, I will invite you again.
We got flat-earthed.
We did. We got flat-earthed. I don't know what's going on. I just got a big thing that says client connecting. So, in any case, they're basically saying, like, okay, well, at this distance, with the way, like, with the curvature of the... If the Earth is curved, At this specific distance, we should be able to see a light through this little tiny port that we've cut in a board. From... There we go. That should do it. Yes! That is... What is this tower? Dude. What is this tower?
What, you mean the one on my side?
That is wonderful. I endeavor to build at least one of these on my side, because that looks fantastic. I've also heard that these are actually immune to the floaters, or the carpets. But in any case, so they're like, all right, well, if you can see the light shining through this little port from, I think it was like, if you're holding it at 10 feet high or 7 feet high, then what was it? Then the Earth is flat. But if you hold it at 17 feet high and we can see it, then it's round. And so they start doing the experiment, and they're like, okay, well, you know, I'm holding the thing up at 10 feet, and the guy at the other end is like, oh, well, I can't see it. And they hold it up at 17 feet, and the thing pops up, and they're like, well, that's not good. Which is like, man, all the evidence is showing you that the Earth has curvature and is not flat, and yet you continue to say, oh, that can't be right. Like, what is going on? And it gets even crazier if you can believe that. So they interviewed this woman named Patricia Steer, I think was her name, and she starts talking to the people interviewing her about how this dude who like created the flat Earth movement essentially was spreading rumors about her because like he doesn't like that other people have taken over the movement or some garbage. It was basically this person is a big selfish jerkbag. But anyway, but his whole thing was like, I mean, the last three letters of her name are CIA, and her last name is Steer, so she's a government plant there to steer people away from flat Earth, which is the truth, you know.
Right.
Exactly. And she's like, and she's in her car talking to the interviewer about this, and she goes, you know, and sometimes I think about these conspiracy theories that people make about me, and I think, could I be that bad? Am I believing something that's false? And then I think, no, because I know I'm right. And it was just like, it was like the engineers all over again. Like, you were so close to realizing that this whole thing is garbage. And yet, here we are, somehow, back at this. Oh, it was so bad, dude. It hurt so bad to listen to this. But in fact, like, girlfriend called me before, because I was watching the documentary on a Thursday, which is when she usually goes out with her sister. And
right.
So she called me and she's like, oh, I'm coming home. And I was like, I'm watching the thing about Flat Earth that we've been avoiding, so, like, just be prepared that when you come home you might get a little mad. So she was like, alright, well, I guess I'll go somewhere else for a little bit, and then I'll come home, because I don't feel like getting angry. Oh, my God. I would encourage you to watch it if I didn't think it would actually piss you off. But, like, at the very least, know that I have watched it so you don't have to. But it is, at the very least...
I appreciate you. I appreciate that you took the duty upon yourself, much as waifu has.
Yeah, dude, like, oh, your wife watched it. Oh, no.
No. She hasn't watched it. Are you not aware that she has a blog called I Watched It on Purpose?
Oh, no, I am. But, like, I didn't know that she was going to watch that.
She didn't watch that. She just watches terrible things so I don't have to, which you have done as well.
Ah, gotcha. But, like, at least the people that made the... Okay, why aren't you assholes getting bows? At least the people that made it, they weren't, like, completely poking fun at these people, but at the same time, they were like, come on. Like, this is crazy. Like, more crazy... Huh?
I'm going to say something horrible. They ought to.
Well, actually, they had a segment about that, too. Like, I think it was 5 blocks down from the first conference that they did, like the first Flat Earth conference. they actually had like there was a like a physics meeting where there were people talking about science stuff, and there was a dude who got up there to talk about like elitism in the sciences. And one of the things he was talking about was like, you know, ridiculing these people doesn't really work. And so, like, the best way to convert these people over to science, and it sounds weird to say convert because, you know, it's really like to get them to realize what is actually going on in the world, is to engage them and, like, engage with their ideas and then basically, like, without being an asshole, tell them why they're wrong. And then when they go to investigate for themselves and they see that you are, in fact, correct, that may get them to change their minds. Obviously, some people, you're never going to change their minds because they're going to be like, no, it's, you know, it's got to be my way or nothing. But it made a lot of sense. But, so, like, one of the things they had was the two main people that they were interviewing were this guy, Mark something, I forget his last name. I think it was Mark Sargent. He was like a pinball champion or something from some time ago. And this Patricia Steerwoman. And they go to, I want to say it's like the NASA Rocket Science Museum. And they go in, they sit at this little... like lunar module simulator, like for what, you know, it's like simulating what it's like to land on the moon.
Yeah.
And like they barely give this thing a chance. Like he sits down at it and like there's this screen that says start on it, and he's poking it and like nothing's happening, and he's like, man, this place is so busted because I can't keep people you know, interested in this stuff because it's not true, because, you know, flat earth is the reality. And, you know, like the start button just doesn't even work. And then as he's walking away, the camera pans over to the armrest of this chair that he was sitting in. There's a big fucking green button that says start. Like, the dude's poking the screen. Instead of look at the goddamn button that's sitting right there. It's like, it's right there to press, my dude. Like, what are you doing? But, I mean, it gets even crazier than that. Like, they are in their car going to this place, and they're using GPS.
Mm-hmm.
And commenting like, oh yeah, you know, like the GPS says go this way. I hope we don't get lost because you know, like, and not in like a, you know, oh, we're gonna get lost because GPS is garbage because it relies on stuff that doesn't exist. Like, I hope we don't get lost because the GPS isn't catching up or whatever the hell it was. I forget. Right. At some point I did kind of lose a little bit of interest because I was like, please, just my brain, it hurts. But just the whole thing starts off with these people being like, oh, you know, the satellites they say they launch, like, it's not true because, like, they can't launch satellites because that's not how it works. And then they're like, oh yeah, GPS. Which is, you know, works on satellites. So, and I don't mean to, like, make fun of people, but, dude.
Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, like, I don't know what else to say. What the fuck? Oh, this must have been from your pike stand.
Yeah, and that guy's going, the vagrant is going to get more pikes.
Excellent.
Alright, I'm pushing the walls out one more.
These guys have made Ultra Pike. I don't know if you want to walk over here and see this. There's like 4 or 5 pikemen all together. They look like they just have one gigantic pike.
Oh, it's the old elven railgun trick.
I thought that was the peasant railgun.
Well, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah.
You just have them, each of them pass it forward to the next guy, and since you can cover, you know...
Yeah.
All of that distance in one round.
You know what? I think I'm going to use all this cash to upgrade the walls. Or not the walls, but I'm going to push the walls out and then build, like, the Ultra Tower.
I'm just standing here while they rebuild this old tower and shitting out gold every couple of minutes. And then my archers are like, hey, where'd this poo gold come from? And then they pick it up and shine it off, and...
Turns out you can polish a turd.
And then they hand it to me, and I'm like, wow, poo gold. Nice.
Oh, man.
I hear the call of the strongest man in the whole wide room.
What?
Theodore J. Liftington has entered my home.
Ah! Yeah, like, and, you know, thinking about all this stuff, like, with the flat earth and whatever, I guess, in a way, it's like, one of the least dangerous forms of anti-intellectualism and anti-sciencism that's out there. Because, like, I mean, anti-vax, that shit's fucking dangerous. Like, I don't know, I was listening to the news this morning, dude, and, like, I think, if I'm right, they said in New York, there's an outbreak of measles in, like, the Bronx or something.
Yeah.
Which, I'm like... And, you know, listening to, like, some of the older folks talk about this stuff is really enlightening as to, like, exactly how screwed up this is. Because they're like, why are you bringing back diseases that we eradicated decades ago?
Because of disproven science.
Well, yeah, and it's even more than that, because they're like, this shit was a miracle when we were young, like, and you're just saying no because my crown, give me that, burn, you scum. The greed, I need to make it very clear as to who I'm telling to burn here. Where was that spot that I wanted to build the wall? Was it over here? Yas. Nope. Well, like, just the whole idea of, like, no, this shit was a miracle, and you're saying you don't want it anymore?
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, like, I understand that is exactly what they're saying, but at the same time, it's like, could you get your information from somebody that's not Jenny McCarthy? Like, and I understand the idea of, and okay, I say I understand it, but I don't fully understand it. I understand where it's coming from, which I think is a place of horrible ignorance that hurts people. But the idea of, like, oh, well, I don't believe those in a place of authority because, like, they're lying to us about this stuff. Like, but they're not. Like,
sure they are.
Part of it, I think, comes from, like, that whole thing in the about leaded gasoline in the 60s.
Yeah, except that was true.
Well, no, what I mean is, like, part of this comes from that, where it's like, oh, well, the people in authority were lying to us, so that means that it's going to happen again. And while that does happen in certain cases, and I'm sure that you and I could point out a lot of cases that are happening very recently, this really isn't one of them. Like, it's hard to get everybody in a specific field to lie about something. Like, physicists with flat Earth. That would be or like Neil deGrasse Tyson, the way that he puts it about, like, landing on the moon. Like, I love that, the way that he puts it, which is like, it would be harder for us to fake the moon landing than to go to the moon. Or to accurately fake the moon landing.
Yeah.
Than it would have been to go to the moon. Like, that, I think, speaks volumes to exactly how difficult that shit would be. And, like, why it just is not worth it to try that kind of garbage. Because, like, why, dude? Do you have pikemen that are sometimes just walking around, like, with their spears out? As in, like, not carried over their shoulder, they're just, like, holding it forward? Because I don't know if this is a new thing.
As such.
This is the second time I've seen it. First was, like, I mean,
right now I've got a vagrant over here who looks like he's just chowing down on corn dogs because of some artifacting in the video, but...
Oh. Well, that's no bueno. But, like, so, I don't know if this is because of the update, which, there was an update, by the way, for those of the people that are observing this video. And that, Steam!
Oh. And I lost my connection.
Oh, apparently Steam maintenance or something, because I just saw that the chat went down, which is just fantastic. So I'll try to hold the fort without you for... Okay, well, I mean, fuck me, I guess. Connection failed. You know, just... And suddenly, everybody's running inside because the greed have shown up. Someone unannounced. I have to say, that's extremely rude. I will try to invite you again in just a moment when Steam has stopped being a butthole. Apparently this is just a video of problems. That's just what's going to happen this time. Okay, I'm running, because you are a stealer of crowns who has made it past... Oh, my fucking god, please. Thank you. That was a little terrifying. Alrighty. Yeah, so I think once Steam Whatchamacallit comes back up, we'll, I'll invite you back, but for the time being, I guess we can just sit here and talk. There it is. Hooray! Alright, let me see if I can get you back in here. God. Oh, Steam. Why you do? Have you gotten the invite?
No.
No. What?
No.
But I did it though. Invite to lobby.
There we go.
All right,
Now
sweet.
I got the invite.
Hot damn. Man,
But we've almost reached the end of our episodic day.
Yes, indeed we have. Oh my god, actually, I don't remember if you were there. It was at a get-together at Lair and Kurai's place. Fuck, I forget the screen name that he uses. Our rogue friend in the D&D game.
Oh, D-Man.
Yes, D-Man, exactly. At one of their get-togethers, he was
D
saying...
stands for dead.
He was saying that, like, of all the weird conspiracy theories, that Flat Earth was the one that he could understand the most because, like, it's hard to do the math and the science and stuff, and, like, he doesn't, this stuff like that doesn't get taught in school and whatever, and I was like, fucking hell it doesn't. Like, we did that math in high school, dude. I don't know what the fuck school you came from.
One where they didn't do that.
I guess, every time we get a disconnect, some weird bug happens. I mean, at least we're not in endless nighttime territory anymore, but I have, like, there is a coin that is just sitting there, waiting to be picked up, but it cannot be.
It happens.
It does. And that's not to say that, like, I think that D-Man is an idiot or something, because that is not the case. I do not think that. But at the same time, I'm like, and I can see where he's coming from with, like, the, I can get where you might think that, that's, like, that it makes sense in a way, even though it doesn't. But still, man, like, come on. And I get the idea, like, oh, it's the math they teach you. Like, okay, yeah, but you can verify it for yourself, dude. Like, go to... do the experiments. Is the easiest way. I don't know,
It's the only way. Doing the experiments is hard. And most people don't have the desire to do the experiments. And to a certain degree, D-Man is right. They don't teach that math in depth anymore. In the same way that they don't teach civics in depth anymore.
Oh man, that is one thing that I am sad about. Like, I wish civics was something, and I know it's like lumped in with social studies now, but like, I don't know, dude. But I still feel like that should be something that's like really big and taught in school.
I don't enjoy feeling like Grandpa Simpson.
Oh man, tell me about it.
Being like I used to know what it was, and I was with it, but now what it is has changed, and it frightens me.
Surely it is the children that are wrong. Oh no, that's Principal Skinner. My bad.
Right, but I mean, I've discussed this. As you are aware, I work with college students.
Mm-hmm.
And I've discussed this with the students who work in my department, and they're like, yeah, they didn't really teach that to us unless we like specifically took American history or stuff like, or specific periods. I'm like, yeah, see, that's wrong.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Like, I got that in literally like 6th grade when it was like, hi, this is social studies, but we're also going to teach you the basics of how our country works.
Well, yeah, I remember doing that in, I want to say, I don't remember if it was junior high. No. They definitely did it in grade school. But I know that there was more about it in high school as well. Like a more in-depth thing.
Why are my catapults not catapulting?
I don't know, dude. I also don't know why this man is still... Okay, apparently this one dude has taken it upon himself to watch this wall, and that's it. Because I built this wall, and this dude was at the last wall. And now he's at this one, just standing there doing nothing. And I just don't get it.
Get a haircut and a real job.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I mean, like, I think that you and I feel Grandpa Simpson about things in very different ways. Like, I mean, girlfriend refers to me as old man quite frequently because I don't know if it's just like, and this is gonna
Which
sound,
I find hilarious.
well, you'll find out why in a second. I don't know if it's just like, and this is gonna come off terribly, but just understand it comes from, well, okay, I'm just gonna say it and you all can judge for yourselves. I don't know if it's just like I don't like it when children have fun, or if I am, or if I just don't like fun, or what. I don't get it. But I find that often. Okay, I'm gonna stand here and okay. I'm glad you came here to do that because I was also coming here to do that.
And I'm gonna do this.
But like, oh god damn it, dude. This is not... Okay, well, you know what? I'll take it, sure. Why not?
Hey, leave the bread alone.
Alright, I will refill that.
Now you gotta buy more bread.
Yeah, well, what's-his-face just barfed coins at me, so... I was like, alright, I guess I'll take it, and I'll do something with it, dude.
Well, I mean, I've been paying JR as often as I can. So he's gonna be he's gonna be barfing coins for a while.
But, so, like, alright, you know that... I mean, I don't mean to say, like, I have a problem with our upstairs neighbor, but, like... In my mind, it is an issue, but it is one that because I don't like social confrontation, I am unwilling to deal with. Aside from being an old person and taking the broom and hitting the ceiling, is that sometimes... So there's a dude that lives above us, and his daughter lives with him. And sometimes she will play music that is fairly loud, which I know I have voiced my opinion on several times in episodes on this channel. But apparently... And this is not, like, I don't have anything against people that smoke weed, because it is, in fact, legal in the state that I reside, and in fact, in the state that we reside. But, much like our friend Warlock, it does make me feel a little violent. And I don't know why, because I used to love that smell, and now I hate it. And I don't know if that's part of, like, you know, I don't like it when young people have fun, or if it is truly, like, something has changed with my physiology, and now the smell of weed makes me angry. Well, I don't mean to make it sound like I'm going to get homicidal and hurt somebody. Like, that is totally not the case.
One, I think you now have too many negative connotations associated with the smell. So it's not the smell in and of itself. It's just that you have spent so much time getting angry when somebody was getting high in your vicinity.
That could be
that it's just an ingrained response. That kind of like the triggering response of mentioning some certain friends' names around Ramius.
Oh, yes, I think I know who you're talking about. Formerly our asshole, is that it?
No, actually, I was thinking more along the lines of formerly his girlfriend.
Oh!
That's more of a response out of you when she's mentioned than him.
Wait, what? Oh! Wait, I'm confused, but I think I understand. If that makes any sense at all.
Eat shit, Crown Stealer!
Yeah! That's something we can all agree on.
And the knight leaps forward like, kastab.
That's something we can all agree on. That's a bipartisan issue right there. Fuck you, Crown Stealer.
Pretty much. But, yeah, no, it's... I think that part of it may be that you just have too many negative connotations, or you're used to being mad when you smell it because of your neighbors. And as one of your stoner friends, as I have explained to Warlock, there are different strains of weed.
Oh, yeah.
One of which is designed to make you anxious.
Okay, that I didn't know. I do know that was my experience the first time I ever tried it. Which was totally recently because that's when it got legalized. Not to say that I ever tried it when I was younger, you know.
But similar to I've had the same discussion with Lear, because the last time he did it, he got all anxious and paranoid. And I'm like, well, there's one strain that has been bred for like mental acuity and mental alacrity. It's meant so that your It wakes you up. It makes you aware. It helps you think. It helps actually clear your head, and that kind of stuff can cause people who already have anxiety issues to get anxious.
I'm just going to say this. That is fuck the hell up. Something that most people recognize as being a relaxing agent. Something. Oh, God.
Right. And there is a second, completely separate strain of weed that is I'm just going to sit on the couch and stare at the dog.
See, that's the kind that I, again, very recently have had, since it's legal now, that a friend of mine from high school who is still around here absolutely and did not move away and join the military, like, that caused us to walk down the street to the gas station and buy like 3 family-sized bags of Doritos and eat all of them. Needless to say, the next day, neither of us felt very good.
One of the big benefits I have found of actually having the dispensaries is that now you're not, like, trusting your slacker, stoner, hesher buddy to be like, oh, dude, this weed made me do blah, 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 blah. You've actually got people like, okay, so here's what it does.
Yeah, I will also completely confess to being a mooch. I have never paid for it, ever. And I will never do so ever because I don't actually enjoy it. I think I used to, but at some point I finally realized that I was like, this makes me not in control of myself, and I hate that. It's kind of like the same way that I feel about getting drunk. I just do not want. And that's not to say that I'm like, nobody else can have this stuff because, because of my feelings about it. Like, that's dumb. I would never feel that way about it. Although I do very much get like, could you not have stinky fun in an apartment building where I have to smell it? At the same time, like, there are times when, like, our bedroom reeks of it because somebody is smoking it in the building, and like, neither of us really enjoy the smell anymore. I don't think girlfriend ever has, because you know how she is. Like, controlled substances have never really affected her at all, which is why when she broke her ankle and they were like, oh, we're gonna give you these painkillers, she was like, yeah, could you just give me something that's like intravenous, because I don't think this pill is gonna work at all. And they were like, no, we can't. And then after they gave her the pill and she was like, I'm still in a lot of pain, and was still showing like complete cognitive ability, they were like, well, we're still not gonna give you anything intravenous, but like, that's weird.
Pushing the wall out.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this episode, folks. Hope you all did enjoy it, and if you did, you know what to do. That's it for me, Notorious BLT, and also Peach. We hope you have a fantastic day, and we will catch you all next time. Bye-bye, folks.